on that note, let's talk about some college football. We got a chance to catch up with head coach of the Nebraska Cornhuskers earlier today. Riveting convo. A lot of Penn State chatter in there. Or is there? We'll see. Take a look. Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of the Nebraska Cornhuskers, who, hey, don't look now. Everything is still sitting right out there in front of him. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Rhule. And they show up for their team, even in the thin times, through the thick times. Right now, with how you guys are building, is there a different level of energy coming from them, or is this who they are all the time, Coach?
This is who they are. I mean, I knew we would have a good crowd because when I was looking at this job 2 years ago in 2022, or 3 years ago in 22, when, the coach had been let go, they weren't going to make a bowl game. They went to Rutgers, and there has a huge contingent there. Like, it's one thing when people make the hour-long car ride, but our fans flew from all over the country to come into Maryland and be there for that game. And so they deserve to have a good team because they've been there, as you said, they've been there for 60 years showing up every single week, and now we're trying to show up with them.
It's like an hour and a half before the game, too, they're in there, right? Like, it's like the stadium is the hangout. This is the tailgate. We are in here together, right? Isn't that kind of the story over there?
Yeah, in the state of Nebraska on home Saturdays, the Memorial Stadium is the third largest city behind Omaha and Lincoln. And so it just it's unreal. And they're good fans. Like it's Nebraska nice. We take care of the other team. We care about the other team. They cheer for good football. And they travel with us. So it's a Friday night in Minnesota. You're on the road. At least you know that you're going to have Husker Nation show up.
Do you guys have any cool things like during the national anthem with the Kansas City Chiefs where you know exactly at an away game how many Chiefs fans are in there when it's in the home? And you got the home team just like, yeah, it's great to be home here. There's not a lot of Chiefs fans in here, And then you hear a third of the stadium. Chiefs! And it's like, oh, shit, they're out here right now. What are the Nebraska chants? I don't think I know what the chants are.
So we're sitting out. So Maryland has a small locker room. So I literally, Dana Holgerson and I sat outside on the grass. Like fans could have heckled us if they wanted. We just sat outside for like the 2 hours before the game. And like the 30 minutes before they would even let fans in, you could hear "Go Big Red" chants out in the parking lot. Like they were at the gates, waiting for them to unlock the gates to be able to go in and take over the stadium. And so you hear "Go Big Red, Go Big Red." You feel like you're at home. But that idea, that Chiefs idea about the national anthem, that might be something Husker Nation will pick up because they would crush that.
I'm telling you, it is a good tone setter. Just in an away game too, it's like a good temperature check. Like, hey, how many people are here? Like Steelers fans all have terrible towels, so you can see them immediately upon away games before the game even starts. Like, hey, what's it going to be like in here tonight? And then the Chiefs getting that thunder, boom, right at the beginning in somebody else's house is beautiful. Happy to hear your fans did that. Let's talk about Friday night action against Minnesota. Obviously, another Big Ten matchup. What are your thoughts on their program? PJ Fleck's been there for a very long time. Obviously, you guys have everything still very much in front of you. Your only loss is to Michigan. It was 3 points. So if you win out, which, looking at your schedule and your team, certainly possible. One game at a time, though, Coach. Let's not get too crazy ahead of ourselves. One game at a time. What are your thoughts going into Friday night's game against Minnesota and where your team sits currently at and your messaging to them about the possibilities?
Yeah, I think the thing about our team is just, hey, the last few games we've been up 14-0 and 10-0, and we've allowed the other team to get back in it. So we're still kind of playing up and down, riding the highs and lows. And we have the youngest team in the Big Ten. So that's not an excuse. You just have to teach them. You have to teach them, like, when you're up 14-0, don't go out there smiling and relax and let them score, make it 14-7. Put them away. And so we're trying to just put together a complete 60 minutes and not have to have Dylan and the defense and Isaiah and them go down and win the game in the last seconds. But that being said, Minnesota has been down double digits in its 2 Big Ten wins, and they've come back. And PJ Fleck, I respect him immensely. I've gotten to know him personally over the years. He teaches his kids how to play football at a high level. He also teaches them as men. They're really, I love them coming out in the draft. And so I know they're going to be tough. I know they're going to be sound. They have a redshirt freshman quarterback playing his 7th game who's dynamic, and they have a great defense. And so it'll be a great football game for everyone to watch on national TV.
What is it, October 17th, the game? What will the weather be? Minnesota's going to be cold as shit.
Rain.
Yeah, have you seen? Go ahead.
No, they said a little rain, so luckily it rained here for 2 days, so we practiced outside in the rain, and That doesn't really bother our guys. And it's supposed to be in the 60s, maybe dip down in the 50s. I mean, that's Cornhusker weather.
Oh,
So
perfect football weather.
We're ready for that.
I mean, that's a great Friday night in the Midwest, baby. I like to hear that because, like, 2 weeks from now, Minnesota, that's going all the way down. And you talk about P.J. Fleck and getting to know him. We got to know him at the beginning of his run here at Minnesota a little bit. What a lightning rod of a human being. Just neckton mentality is what he talked about to us. One of the first times he talked, like a shark has neckton mentality. That is, and it's always hunting, like always moving forward, And obviously the buy-in with the boat and everything. And then whenever he was at, which Michigan was he at up there?
Western Michigan.
Western Michigan. He was trying to build that program up and build them traditions. So he was making videos in his office and sending them out to the students like, hey, on third down, we're all going to do this, okay? We're going to go boom, 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 and then we're all going to go like this on third down. We're trying to make this play tough. It's like the way he approaches it, former player obviously, and the way he attacks it, it felt like he had a special rocket on his back. And now he's been in Minnesota for some time. Game day was there 2019, maybe?
Yeah,
2020.
Eric Decker.
It's like, it's an interesting dilemma there for like a lot of teams, especially in the Big Ten, whenever it's been so dominated by two teams. It's like, what's success, what isn't success, which then immediately leads to your hometown. And I don't want to have to distract you here because obviously you're in the middle of a season and you've already answered this about how much, like, hey, that's my hometown. Like, I love that place. Like, I always will. Everybody loves their alma mater. That conversation's only going to heat up around you assume. And you said before, like, hey, this is what happens. I was at Temple. I was at Baylor. Anywhere you have success, this type of shit happens. I'm used to this. This is a good thing, not a bad thing, that other people want our players, want our coaches, myself included. That's kind of been your messaging. You've been here before. What does that look like for you with team, with everything, with how hot that's going to get in the kitchen, it seems like?
It's with my team, it's just unbridled honesty. Tell them the truth. Tell them exactly the truth, and don't BS them because they'll know. And secondly, like, just out there, like, this is it. This is part of it. Like, it's better than when I was in Carolina and they were chanting to fire me, right? So it's better than being on every hot seat list. So having other schools maybe be interested in you is pretty cool. But I don't do that during the season. I don't mess around with that. I don't play that. And at the same time, this is not a jumping off job. This is a destination job. This is one of the greatest places in the world. This is a town of 300,000 people. This isn't everyone says like Lincoln. It's 300,000 people here in Lincoln. Like, I can do whatever I want here. I have a great young team, the youngest team in the Big Ten. Think about how good we'll be next year. Now, I'm not thinking about next year, but where we are right now, like, we're learning. Think about where we're going to go with Dylan and all these guys. So I refuse to be distracted. At the same time, it's when it's your alma mater, you have to show it love and respect. And I hope, and I love Pat Kraft, they'll find the right coach for them, whoever that is. But like, this is a destination job that should be a national bully, that should be a beast. And I think we're making our way to doing that.
Yeah, and I think with the third year of Matt Rhule at every place, I think that's a pretty good prediction, and especially with the way you're going. But if you lose every game going forward because you're distracted with other shit, nobody's going to want to hire your ass. We got the Carolina Panther chants coming back.
That's exactly right. And so I tell my kids all the time, like, hey, you're one game away from either side of it, so just stay right in the middle and just be who you are, man.
All right, next game, obviously Friday night. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Coach, with the Friday game, how much does it change kind of your prep? I know early on you guys already played during the week, but does it, on Sunday, was that different just because you guys were a day behind? Or what is the biggest difference between the Friday night game and Saturday night game when it comes to preparation during the week?
It's a great question. Monday's usually our day off, and the captains, I met with the captains. I was like, hey guys, we'll do a traditional Tuesday, hard, old school, banging practice. Wednesday will be the same way, just maybe a little less. Thursday we'll walk through, and normally we practice on Thursday. So today we'll walk through, then we'll travel up to Minnesota, walk through again tomorrow, and play the game. But the captains voted; they wanted meetings and walk through on Monday. So I said, all right, if that's what you guys want, we'll do it. So we just added a little bit on Monday. They'll get Saturday off. I told him, man, find a way to win the game. There's no greater feeling than watching Pat McAfee on game day, sitting on your couch like a regular fan, just enjoying the game. I mean, so we got to go play well Friday night, and they put the work in on Monday to get that done.
The games on Saturday have been electrifying. Yeah. So, let alone watching game day, which I am very lucky to be a part of, and I love that the show is a part of college football as a whole. It's such a beautiful sport, man. The tradition, the pageantry, everything. Like, obviously, you've gone to the NFL. I from Pittsburgh, which is an NFL town, only really understood the NFL world, the NFL lifestyle, the NFL fandom, everything like that. Then obviously I got an incredibly lucky opportunity to play in it for 8 years. So it's like I felt like I knew the NFL literally since birth, you know? So then college football through the NFL, you start watching game day. That's kind of like your dabble into college football. Then you may travel with a teammate back to their university, go see what it's like for a game there. Maybe you go hang out at another place and it's like, wait a minute, this isn't like the NFL at all. Certainly same sport. We get it. They're playing football out there. But the tradition and pageantry and environment and culture and buy-in that is in college football that you talked about with Nebraska, it's the greatest on earth. And you can feel it through your TV every single Saturday. I mean, Friday night, obviously, we'll be able to see it with your game. But Saturdays, from when we start, obviously, because the fans everywhere we go, which once again we're so thankful for, are insane. You hear the tradition, you hear the pageantry through the fans there. All the way through the nightcap games. We got some good West Coast teams playing right now. All the way till like 1 a.m., college football is just throwing a fastball. And it's been spectacular. On that note, there's some conferences that are better than others, is what everybody's saying.
Yeah.
Kai has a question for you.
Yeah, that's what people would say, Coach. And obviously, you're a Big Ten guy. I'm a Big Ten guy, so we know how tough the Big Ten is. But the national media wants to say, hey, listen, the SEC might get 6 teams in the playoff. With what has happened to Penn State, the Big Ten is top heavy, and then there's just a lot of shit underneath that. What would you say to people who make that statement? Because as we know, I mean, hey, listen, anybody can get anybody in the Big Ten every single week.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of partisanship throughout all that, right? Like even like we beat Cincinnati, and they, at the end they came back and made it a close game score-wise, and they did an excellent job. And I'm a big Cincinnati fan, but they're voted ahead of us right now, and they're voted ahead of us because for whatever reason, people might see them on a Saturday. I would just say this. Is anybody actually watching the film? Is anybody actually watching the tape? I watch some teams that are ranked, and I'm like, that's not a very good football team. I watch other teams, and I say, man, that's an excellent football team. What we've done in the Big Ten is we have basically propped up a couple teams, and they've earned it. Ohio State's earned it, don't get me wrong, but we haven't, like, the propaganda machine hasn't pushed the middle teams, the middle-tier teams, the Illinois. Even when Indiana got in last year and they deserved to get in, it was kind of like, yeah, but because, they've been Indiana the last several years. But I mean, Lane Kiffin went to Ole Miss, and that place took off. I mean, what he's done is they've taken off with Ole Miss, and we just say, well, Ole Miss is a great team. Well, they are a great team. But so is Illinois, so is Indiana, so are the teams in the Big Ten. I think the Big Ten and the SEC personally stand alone, and then ACC, Big 12, all great conferences. We should play each other, but when we play each other, the Big Ten and the SEC wins a lot. And so I think the Big Ten has to help itself. Part of me being out doing things like this, we have to help ourselves get our names out there because, like, Nebraska's a blue blood. Like, we have to earn it. We're not in that I'm not talking about us yet, but some of those other teams that have won 8, 9, 10 games, they're kind of dismissed in the Big Ten, but they don't deserve that. They're better than that.
I mean, you mentioned Indiana there, and everything you just said, I love hearing from, especially a coach active currently and a coach that's going to go down as one of the greatest college football coaches of all time for what you've done in a lot of places. You think about how everybody viewed Indiana going into Oregon. I mean, it was just like Indiana's going to get smacked because nobody wants to believe that Indiana's good at football. Yeah. Like, that is kind of that. Like, it's hard to believe that Indiana's still good at football. And to your point, I think there's a lot of teams in the Big Ten that are like, yeah, we understand they play football there, but it's hard to believe that they're good at football or great at football at this point. And with NIL and transfer portal and marketing machines and brands, it's like literally anybody can win any game. That is kind of what we have figured out through the last couple of years of college football.
If you want to talk about the system, and hey, is our system a good system? Now, meanwhile, we have the NFL that shows us how to do this all right. But is our system a good system? The poll to start the season had 2 teams at 1 and 2 who aren't even in it anymore. Like, why even have a preseason poll? Oh. And before anybody has a vote or says anything, like, tell me which games you've had. Tell me how many times you've watched the Huskers play. Tell me how many times you watch Indiana play. Like, I had to go back on Monday and put on the tape of Indiana, Oregon to see like what Indiana did. They didn't gimmick them. That's a great football team with an excellent quarterback. Like, just give them their due. But we're still in college football looking at the logos, looking at the perennial this, the last 10 that, instead of people actually watching the ball.
So Indiana ranked number 3, highest they've ever been ranked, obviously. And I think Oregon, good football team too. Like, yeah. I think you watch that game and it's like, hey, these are 2 really good football teams. I actually said, can't wait to see both you in the playoffs because I think that is the case. But if they were both to make the playoffs, with a lot of the projections, there's only going to be 3 Big Ten teams that make it. It's like, well, who else is battling? It's like, well, There's still a lot of football to be played, and there's still a lot of opportunity for a lot of teams. In the SEC, I know a lot of these teams are ranked high, just naturally, I think, and potentially because a lot of the 5 stars and everything that they are able to get down there. They all got to play each other. Some of those games might get real ugly. Like we might find out who's the levels in the SEC over the next few weeks because they got to play against each other, all of them. And it's like, is Texas A&M actually much realer than everybody could imagine? And then also Ole Miss got Georgia this weekend. It's like, okay, here's a big test. But if Georgia gets back to being who they are, there's a chance that one gets. I mean, it's like college ball right now is so fickle. I mean, it is a very fickle place right now. There's only like 3 teams that have been dominant through it all.
Those SEC teams, too, who end up making it, they better hope they get a home game.
You got to come to the cold up there.
Exactly.
You got to come to that cold, Rhule.
Right.
Come to that cold.
Come up and play in the snow and the ice like the NFL does, like FC, like every other sports league does. We're the only league that plays in domes to protect warm weather teams. Not to protect them, but it does protect the warm weather team. Let's play on home campuses to protect the things that you're talking about, Pat, like the pageantry of college football, and see who can actually play in the weather. And that would change everything. And to your point, I love what you just said. Like, let's just play it all out. Like, that's why the NFL, like, you're not voting on who's going to make the playoffs in week 6. You're just watching them and letting the games play out. And forever, college football has been an elimination tournament. Win once and you're out. And we got the playoff. And so now you can have good matchups and good games. And you lose a game, you can fight back. Like last year, we were talking about 9-3 teams getting in, which I think is great. Because now you can go play good games, have excitement throughout the year, and then have a lot to talk about the last 3 weeks of the season.
It's all very good. Everything's very good. There's just a chance that humans will make it bad, and that's going to happen in everything. But the Ohio State-Tennessee game last year is going to be referred to by everybody in the North.
Correct.
Whenever the college football playoff comes around. Well, this team's better than this team in the Big Ten because look how many 5 stars they got. They got guys that run 4.3. It's like, well, maybe we can't up here in the North have everybody that runs 4.3 because it's going to be 32 degrees by the time we get to November. And turns out the 4.3 guy, he runs actually a 4.6 just like everybody else in that weather. And we need some power up here. So it's just 2 different styles of ball. And it's like, well, which one is deemed better? Well, it depends where the game's being played.
Bingo.
Which is why the 12-team playoff happening is a beautiful thing. I don't think any Big Ten teams necessarily.
No doubt.
I think that's a whole different ball game too. Tennessee, 102,000 people down there. Depending upon how hot it is, I know it gets cold in Tennessee. I think it's a little different ball game. Tennessee home game.
LSU
hosting hosting a game at night. I think that'll be a little bit of a different animal. Oh, Alabama, I think it is a very important. I think it is a big deal. But then once again, imagine walking into Columbus in the middle of January. You got to take on a team that's not only built for it, but also used to it. And it's freezing, and you've never seen this before. They cracked 3 helmets. Nico Iamaleava's helmets, 3 of them. The equipment wasn't even ready for the cold, let alone the players. Here, it was like, that's going to be talked about a lot. And then the SEC's went, well, we all play each other down here. It's like, all right, well, who cares? Who's coming to the cold to do it? It's a good time for debate in college ball, which I think is how it's always been. Last question here for you, Coach, from Tone.
Yeah, Coach, we talked about how it is going to be a great Saturday. Ole Miss, Georgia, Tennessee, Bama, USC, Notre Dame. Are you going to take advantage of being off on Saturday to watch some of those games, especially maybe that last one? Because if USC upsets the Irish, there might be a big one in a couple weeks against you and that team.
My goal is not to leave the couch on Saturday. So I want to be a college football fan. I have 2 daughters that play volleyball, and I like, what time's the game? The first game, we get back probably at 1 a.m. The first game's at 8. I was like, I'll take the 8 o'clock game. I will be back to watch game day and watch the whole day. I'll watch it till 1 o'clock. I love college football, and when I speak about college football, I'm speaking about the game overall. So I will watch everything. I'll have the YouTube TV, 4 TVs going.
Hell yeah!
I mean, I might bring in a second TV downstairs. I have one that on roller. I mean, I'll be like you think I'm a gambler, though I do not gamble. You think I'm a gambler, I'll be watching so many games at once. I love it, man. I love every second. I love watching the games last night. I'll watch college football any chance I can get.
I'll tell you, it's hard not to love it, man, whenever you're in it. If you're a football person, it's hard not to fall in love with college football if you're not a college football person. And if you are a college football person, obviously that's till they put dirt on top of you. You are going to love college football. But if you're not a college football person, which there's a lot of new football fans that are coming into the college football world, that's what the ratings are telling us. Ratings are going up. Now, the NFL's ratings are obviously still whatever they are. Okay, they're 15 million more than most college football primetime games in comps. But a lot of the numbers going up for college ball, it's like, I think those are NFL people potentially coming in being like, hey, this is a good sport here. It's the second biggest sport in America.
Yes.
No questions asked. And there's still so much room to grow. And everything you're saying is become a star. When the game kicks off, there might be a dude that's on that bench that hasn't done anything. And then all of a sudden, 2 passes, 3 passes, superstar. And then a team becomes relevant. And then a university becomes relevant. It's like so special. It's very, very special.
To that point, Coach, all this talk made me think about this. So, like, when you're watching on midweek Conference USA or Maction or whatever, and then or maybe even tomorrow on a Saturday, will you see a player make a play and you're like, oh, I could see him in a
Wait a minute!
Whoa.
You write a name down to call him later, or?
No. You ain't get me on that one.
I didn't know if it was tampering or not.
Oh, yeah. Coach Rhule's out here trying to pluck guys off of Wednesday Night Football. We appreciate you, Coach. Thank you for joining us. Safe travels to Minnesota, and good luck, brother.
Thank you, guys.
You're the man, dude. You've been really good to us. We appreciate that.
I appreciate you guys. Shoot. Thank you guys for having me on.
You're a good football coach, too. I think that is your boy. Hey, a guy, I just saw the tweet as we were coming in. One of your players gave a speech at halftime. Is that accurate?
Yeah, Ja'Cory Barney, our young sophomore receiver who's dynamic. He's leading the country, I think, in punt returns. He's in the middle of the halftime. We were in this small, terrible locker room, and he was like, man, what's wrong with y'all? And they couldn't put all the stuff out that he said because it was – but he was like, man, he started doing like all this, like, man, we're up. You heard me? Up 7-0. You heard me? Defense going to strap these bitches. Pick 1-5. Time like, oh God, how do I follow this? I was like, let's go to the field, guys. Unbelievable.
Team, 1, 2, 3, go. Here we go. That is that's good culture, brother. That's good culture.
Hell yeah, it's fun to be around. It's fun to be around. That's it's funny for me. I've always the 3 places I've been, well, not the Carolinas, but the 2 colleges now here. We've spent a couple of years to build the culture up and get the football right, and then I've always kind of left afterwards. And so that's why for me, I'm going all in on this place. Like we can make this whatever we want.
You want this, you got that. No way, watch them walk right past you. Run fast while you have the chance.